Welcome back to Ringer Tailgate, the Wednesday edition of the show. I'm your host, Tate Frazier. We have a lot to get to, and one of the first things we have to get to is that it's Tuesday, not Wednesday. We have Christmas this week. We hope everybody's having a happy holidays. Let's say what's up to the guys. First and foremost, Van Lathan. What's up, Van?
What's up, guys? Merry Christmas, happy holidays. There was a Santa hat around here somewhere, but they snatched it. I was going to wear it today. I wore it on Higher Learning, but they took it out of here. They snatched it out of the Ringer. It's crazy.
Who stole the Santa hat? That's a good question we can ask on the show and figure out.
Speaking of who stole the Santa hat, I don't know if you guys know this, but did you guys know that there was a PlayStation that was stolen from the Ringer Spotify? Did you guys know this? Have you heard about it?
No.
I heard it on Higher Learning.
Yeah. Like
Joel Anderson here as well. Yes.
Joel's here as well. Joel, if not for the fact that you hadn't been in the office, you would have been my number one suspect for the guy who had stolen the PlayStation for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
Because of internalized racism?
Yeah, like internalized racism, anti-black feelings from inside of the community. I'm going to make sure that I get the thought off me by putting another brother in that situation.
Well, there's a problem the community needs to talk about because obviously that's how we hurt each other.
Yeah, Van's pointing the finger here early. Hopefully we find the Christmas or the Santa hat and we find the PlayStation at some point. Before we get into today's show, we got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about bowl games that have happened.
You didn't ask me. You didn't welcome me, Tate.
I did. I said also Joel Anderson's here as you chimed in. See? Yeah. Do you want to? All right. Let me take a step back. Also in the TCU sweatshirt, Joel Anderson. Joel, how you doing, man?
Thank you. What's up, man? How y'all doing? Let's give a little raise the roof for the crew. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Let's get out on a good foot.
We can't start the show without raising the roof. So, Joe, I get what you're saying.
Ringer Tailgate is presented by FanDuel. FanDuel's got it all. Same game parlays, quick bets for jumping in live and your way so you can build the bet that fits your play. Plus, you don't want to miss out on holiday offers and surprises all month long. Download the FanDuel app and head to FanDuel.com/tailgate to get started. Must be 21 or older and present in select states or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Yeah, we're locked in.
I will say this before we move on. Joel, you coming in and saying, you didn't say what's up to me, that is kind of what sunk woke. Because woke was going fine when they went too far. Like, you know what I'm saying? They went too far, and then they was like, hey, why don't we have a McDonald's value meal named after Travis Scott? And then that was a bridge too far for America, and now look at where shit at. So next time, just deal with the disappointment.
That's right.
They went to Sweetie. She got one.
That's right. Don't ask for too much. Don't take up too much space.
That was a DEI ask.
It was. I just wanted my shot, to say something. I felt like I wasn't ready until Tate turned to me. But you know what? We really did have some tense energy among this, just like not even at each other, but just there's just a lot of tense energy before we came into the show today, to be honest.
Why?
What's going on?
I mean, you all know. You all know why y'all tense.
Why am I tense?
All right. We don't have to talk about it.
You can say whatever. You can bring it up. Why are we tense for real?
Well,
guests on the podcast? No. I mean, look, you guys, we're still working through the processes on the podcast, and sometimes there are guests that come on that we think are great, and then we have to talk about it and all of that stuff. But then maybe some of those guests didn't even really want to come on, so it's like whatever. So, but I'm gonna do, just let everybody out there know, I'm gonna do whatever I can do to have people that I think are interested on the pod, and however that is perceived by people, that's cool. So whatever. Don't tell me.
Van's fighting the good fight. We also did promise 2 special guests. We ended up with 1 special guest, TJ Finley.
And by the way,
be on the show.
We're not saying that these are people that were dying to come on the pod and then they didn't come on the pod, because that's not the case. So I'm saying it's just like, we're here as a podcast family is the deal.
We were going to have Barry Weiss to come on, guys. That's who it's going to be, I guess.
But you
Save
know
that
what?
for
We're
the
going to
press
have
box,
her on.
Joel.
But then she watched what we were going to do, and then she canceled it.
Yeah, she canceled. She decided
that
she
joke?
didn't be here.
She did whatever. Politics. We get too political already. Hey, I want to say something.
Yeah, please.
You're back in the Christmas Miracle Room again.
Yeah, I'm downstairs. I'm in the basement. Yeah.
So, do you know that you're
terrible lighting down here, but
it's actually not. You look like a frame from Home Alone right now.
Yeah, they're calling me Tate McAllister.
You really do.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you right now. You got Christmas over the left shoulder, Christmas over the right shoulder. Y'all got a
Got a
Christmas
fire back
blanket.
there.
You got the fire back there. Like this, this is what I think people want. When people are saying, where's the American dream gone? Like, who has achieved the American dream? I think it's the Frazier family.
Bringing
I think
America
you guys are
back.
one of the last remaining American dream type families, bro.
Yeah, man.
We're just a small town North Carolina. You know
And
what I
connected
mean?
to UNC. Like, I don't know, there's just something very special that you all have a connection all to the same college. I don't know. I just found that like really moving in some way. That you all can share.
Hey, we
that
got a
tradition
signed
together.
Michael Jordan basketball that my mom got from college when she was in class with him right over here, by the way.
Yeah.
She was very upset I didn't show that to you guys. So,
Yeah,
When did
man.
he give her the basketball?
she actually got it later in life, but
okay.
she likes telling the story that she got it in college. But, you know,
Oh, Tate, stop.
sounds better.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds better.
Okay, Tate,
you know.
stop.
Speaking of, by the way, you mentioned the family. My mom did want me
Smart.
before we get into the nuts and bolts of the show. My mom did want me to figure out a way to get you a Christmas tree. She was very upset that you were talking about 2-tree Tate, how there's 2 trees in this house. Joel was talking about he's going to have 2 trees. And then she was like, there's no world we should live in where Joel has 2 trees, Tate has 2 trees, Billy's going to get 2 trees, and then Van has no trees. So she has reached out to me to reach out to people in LA to get you a tree. I told her that you had every available avenue to get a tree. And I don't need to do any sort of facilitating here, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Do you want a tree? And is my mom correct? Because she thinks that you want a tree deep down.
Your mom is a very, very sweet lady. And this reminds me of The Blind Side, right? so your mom
She's
is
not
very-
Sandra Bullock.
Sure, this is the first
she
time you
is.
ever had a bed? Your own bed?
Yes, she is. Big Mike is walking around the neighborhood. Y'all know how I feel about this. If Big Mike would have been 5'3", he'd have lived his whole life homeless, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
He was.
Yeah, he would have.
But,
Yeah, for sure.
But I appreciate it. But no, the tree hasn't ever become a thing for me. It hasn't become a thing. I haven't gotten a tree as an adult, but if I wanted the tree, I definitely could get the tree. But the tree feels like a lot of work, and I wonder. I also don't have a family, so I wonder like what the purpose of the tree actually is.
Well, you know, it's
Joel.
just internal holiday spirit, man. You know, before we had kids, we would get a little tree and put it in the room. And I think, man, actually one of the biggest fights we ever had was when we got that damn tree that day. That was
There you
crazy.
go.
We were mad in Walmart together, but you know, yeah. So man, we got that little tree, and now that tree, you know, every year, you know, we just add more and more decorations to it and everything. You got kids. It's a start. You know, it's just kind of I don't know. It just gives you something to look forward to. Even if we hadn't had kids, I would have liked it. Boy, I would be listening to Alvin and the Chipmunks today on my own, even if I didn't have kids.
Alvin and
The Christmas
Chipmunks
album?
on Christmas,
Yeah.
that's pretty clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
good.
I introduced it to my son today. He fell in love with it, man. He loved it.
What's
he
the
on
last
Alvin and
Christmas
Chipmunks?
album? Yeah, it's a good one. What's the last Christmas album that came out that actually kind of cut through where everybody knows about it? That's a good question right there. You know, I don't really think there is one.
Nah,
Maybe-
because it's
You know?
Christmas songs are like candy. We talked about this before. All the best ones came out way before. They don't invent new candy that people really fuck with. The last candy that they invented that people
Nerds Gummy Clusters. That's
gummy
the last
clusters, high chew is a new candy, but
Wait,
most of the candy that we're eating right now is the same candy we've been eating for decades.
That's true.
one. Repackaged.
Man, like Twix. When do you think Twix came out, man?
I mean, probably
74.
like 74, 70. Like candy has tradition. Christmas songs have tradition.
1967. You're close. That's not bad.
Oh,
So
67.
it's like that is kind of the way most holiday traditions are, which once again I talked about it, which is why crowning Elf as the #1 Christmas movie of all time is hard for me. It's hard for me to crown Elf because how can you be better than It's a Wonderful Life? How can you be better than Miracle on 34th Street? How can you be better than The Christmas Story? How can you be better than all of these other movies that came out for a long time? you know?
especially when it kind of like takes the claymation from Rudolph. You know what I mean? It kind of piggybacks off a classic. So that also helps. You know.
Do you all think of When Harry Met Sally as a holiday movie?
I think you could talk yourself into it. Why not?
Yeah, that's a tough
Yeah.
one to bring up right now. But so
It's a great movie.
yeah, it's tough.
It is a great movie.
It is a great movie. But like I personally look at movies, there are Christmas movies and then there are movies that you watch during the holidays with your family. Like, to me, Trading Places is a movie that we will watch every holiday season.
Oh,
so when
yeah.
I see Trading
That's
Places,
a good one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it also kind of happens during the holidays too, a little
happens
bit.
during the holidays.
It's got
type of
holiday
situation.
vibes.
Kind of
Yeah.
holiday vibes to it, all of that stuff like that. Look at us talking about general pop culture on the College Football Podcast.
I love it. Let's get to some college football. We got reactions that we want to get to. We're going to talk round one a little bit because we talked about it on Saturday, but now we've had some time to marinate, think about what we saw, give our one big reaction from Saturday. We're also going to talk about some of the bowl games that have happened. And there's games happening right now as we're recording. We got the Boca Raton Bowl happening in the background. Toledo taking on Louisville, which is a fascinating game. Van, I'll go to you first. One big reaction. Obviously, there were two great games. JMU covered. I had a lot of people reaching out to us saying that we were disrespectful to the G5. JMU backdoor covered that game. They should be celebrating that fact. So maybe you can talk about JMU, give them some credit. But one big reaction from round one now that we've had some time to think about those games.
My one big reaction is just how entertaining the JMU Oregon game ended up becoming.
Okay,
Like,
there you go. I like it.
Never threatened Oregon in any real way, but they did show ingenuity. JMU showed why to me, first of all, let me couch this. The value of college football is in so much more than just the actual teams and the games and the conferences and stuff like that. It's the tradition and the culture and all of that stuff. But JMU showed that there are creative minds that can execute and get things done at all levels of college football. Obviously, their head guy is headed over to UCLA. We'll see how much of that he can bring over to the West Coast with him. But as I watched the game, I watched them continuously find ways and find answers to make that game watchable and competitive and really kind of keep Oregon on their heels a little bit. They never gave up. They never lost their spirit. They were there to play and have a good time and compete, and they did. It was, to me, in a lot of ways, vindication for a lot of the smaller schools that are going to find themselves in the playoff. I agree with that.
Yeah, we got to clip that. Shout out to the Dukes. I agree. They showed a lot of fortitude in that game. And Bob Chesney, that was encouraging if you're a UCLA fan to see that team keep competing. I remember earlier in the season, we kept giving Billy Napier that treatment where we're like, hey, they're losing these games, but at least they're playing hard the whole time. I felt like that team kept playing, kept fighting. So shout out to the Dukes. Joel, one big reaction from round one for you.
Yeah, I think the thing is, because I'll piggyback a little bit off what Van was saying there, is that I watch college football for like all 14 or 15 weeks, for those 14 or 15 weeks. I don't watch college football because I love the playoffs, right? Like, I loved college football when there was a BCS, when it was a Bowl Coalition, before there was any of that, right? Like, where voters would vote for a poll. Like, I watch college football for Texas and OU, TSU PV, TCU SMU, blah, 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 blah. So the point is that
all the way back to the Iran-Contra scandal. You were watching
all the way
football.
back to the Iran-Contra scandal. And strangely enough, one of the first bowl games, the first football game I literally can remember going to was TCU against West Virginia in the 1984 Bluebonnet Bowl in Houston Astrodome. Shout out Kenneth Davis. So
I thought you was about to bring up the Iran-Contra Bowl. I was about to say, he's like, speaking of the Iran-Contra.
No. No. Well, but I mean, y'all go back, man. Ollie North, shout out. So the whole point of this, though, is that I just don't, there was a lot of complaint about those last two bowl games, right? The ones that involving Tulane and James Madison. And I get it. Like, it's frustrating to wait all year to watch a playoff game and it not be competitive. But you know what? It just happens. And it happens a lot of times. It happens when there's not a James Madison involved at all. I like that they have a chance to be in these games, and I have a chance, even if they're not particularly competitive. And it's because, and I hope that everybody else that's with college football feels this way, I want to preserve what's so great about the regular season, man. And it's great when all those other schools in the Sun Belt and in the American and in the Mountain West feel like they have a chance to someday play in that game. Like, this is just a platform for the sport that we love and we cover all year long. I don't get my kicks out of playoff. I just get my kicks out of college football. And so I just hope people can just learn to, like, hey, we got to blow out in a couple of the playoff games. It happens. It happens almost every year. And we're going to get some great games this coming week, on the 31st. So, I mean, like, that's what I'm more concerned about than being upset that James Madison got ran out of there. Tulane wasn't competitive again against Ole Miss, because it just happens sometimes.
Do you want to address the slight of the the Celebration Bowl? You who
Oh yeah,
black
Joel
college
was
football?
very upset about
Well, no,
our
I mean,
tailgate
like,
fans.
I don't want to. So I appreciate that people want us to talk about things. That's great. It's amazing. That's a real privilege in this media environment. But so many people got mad at us about not talking about the Celebration Bowl, and I'm like, why don't y'all ask Cover 3? Why don't you ask Andy
You
and
felt
Ari?
profiled by the ass.
Yeah,
right.
ask Andy and Ari about the Celebration Bowl. What did Reese Davis think about the Celebration Bowl? Or Joel Klatt?
What about Kirk Herbstreit?
What about Kirk Herbstreit? What do you think he thought about the Celebration Bowl, right? I watched it, and I was disappointed because Prairie View is close to my hometown, and a lot of people I love have graduated from there, and I thought they were going to win, and that was going to totally change perceptions of that football program. It would almost have been a break from the time when they were the losingest college football program in America.
And you gave Prairie View a shout out a couple of weeks ago, by the way. Yeah.
And I did. Yeah, man, I love the Panthers, man. And so, it was very disappointing when they coughed up that lead loss like that. And so I didn't want to necessarily talk about it. Not that I was avoiding it, but I was just like, it just didn't come up. But hold those other podcasts accountable too, because we I love to talk HBCU football. That we could do that all day around here. But we just skipped it that week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold experts accountable, damn it. We've been championing that cause from day one. So, Van, how do you feel about that? The people calling us out for not talking about the Celebration Bowl?
I mean, look, I think that there's probably, with all of our HBCU bona fides, I went to one. Joel is into one, or into a couple of them. I think it's a fair criticism to be like, why didn't you guys bring up the Black College National Championship? And there's a different expectation. But at the same time, fuck you. So it's like, I don't like to be told what to do. So I understand, and I think that it's like probably like it's fair criticism to say, hey, you guys talked about HBCUs. You guys are too prominent Negro Americans that have the opportunity to discuss this. You should have. But at the same time, don't tell me what to do. Go fuck yourself. But I love you at the same time. Like, that's the way I do it. It's the barbershop rule. Go fuck yourself. But also, I heard what you said.
Yeah, with love. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I like that.
With
I
love.
like that.
With love.
I like
Get off my dick.
Yeah.
With love.
Yeah, with love. I think if you just say a little caveat, a little with love at the end, it all sounds better. Can we talk about the losers in the first round just a little bit? I feel like we talked about on Saturday, obviously the teams that won. We talked about Alabama quite a bit. We mentioned, Ole Miss and Oregon at the end of the show as they were winning those games, and obviously gave Miami a lot of credit. But I want to talk about Texas A&M in particular. Like, what is the takeaway if you're Texas A&M from this season? Because there was a time where everything was finally going great for Texas A&M. They weren't, hitting the skid as they had in the past. They had turned a new leaf. Mike Elko was different. And then they end up back in the same spot talking about the two worst words in football next year. Joel, your thoughts on Texas A&M and kind of where they stand right now?
Well, I mean, I think the thing is that they showed that they can do it, right? That they don't have to be a punchline for a whole season, that they can have expectations, look like a really good team, and then when it comes time to play another really good team, they're just right there, right? Like any of those games could have gone either way. Like going back to Notre Dame, that game could have gone either way. When they play against Texas, I don't think Texas will beat them 8 times out of 10. I think they're fairly equal teams. And the same with Miami. They easily could have won that game. They just didn't. And that's what happens when you get up to this level. And
but isn't that the curse of Texas A&M? Though? That's what I'm saying.
But see, I feel like this was kind of a year that showed me that maybe the Aggies were beyond that. The one thing that I kept coming back to, and I got a little bit scared off of this opinion after the second half of the South Carolina game, and I said, man, A&M's going to have to pass their way back in this game. That's too bad. And then Marcel Reed did it. But I really think that they're going to have to, Marcel Reed is going to, they're really going to have to upgrade. And I don't know if he just means he's going to get better. I hope he gets better. I don't think they're going to move to another quarterback. But I think that that's going to be the thing, that they're going to need to have a consistent passing game, something where they can always depend on it, and have a healthy running back room. But those are the two things that really kept them from going further this year. But hey, man, it's year 2 at Elko, man. If you had told them, the Aggies fans, when he got hired 2 years ago, how would you feel about being a top in the college football playoff and to go into the playoff with an 11-1 record? They would accept that, and so I think they're right on time.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I agree. for the most part. I think I learned something. During, I think it was game 1 of the Lakers versus Celtics, the first championship series that they played during the 2010s. I think it was 07 when it was Lakers versus Celtics game 1. I went to the Staples Center to watch it on the big screen. The game was in Boston.
08.
08, yeah. 08. I went to the Staples Center to watch it. The game was in Boston. And things were going well for the Lakers for a little while. Then it looked like Paul Pierce was hurt in the game, and he gets willed off, and everybody is, I'll just be honest with you, the Laker fans were cheering this, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I told them, I was like, hey, don't cheer. He's from right here. Like, don't cheer for an injury or whatever. He gets willed off. It looked like the Lakers were going to maybe steal game 1. He comes back, bust ass, everybody, long faces, one of the worst championship series in my career as a sports fan, right? The Lakers going to get bludgeoned, basically got their hearts took by the Celtics. I learned something that day. Be excited while it's happening, but don't talk about it until it happens. That's Texas, the Texas A&M thing. While it's happening, lesson. This change, be excited about it. Be excited that it's happening. Be excited that you feel differently about your football program, the trajectory of your football program with Mike Elko. But don't talk about the fact that you're there until it happens. And I think that's what happened with Texas A&M. If you really look at it, Texas A&M won nothing this year. All they won was a battle with themselves. They didn't win a conference championship. They didn't win a national championship. They didn't win a ton of national awards. They didn't take away the Heisman or anything like that.
They didn't win a state championship, right? Losing to Texas.
They didn't win any of that stuff. They didn't win the rivalry game that they have. They didn't really win anything. The battle that they're talking about winning is a cultural battle between themselves. They came away with nothing. Right?
They went 7-1 in the big bad SEC, man. I mean, nobody thought that
I didn't interrupt you while you were talking all your shit, but did you want to jump in there? Can I say something about this whole thing?
Come on, man. Hold on. Settle down.
Can I say something about this whole thing? Like, Joel is champion at the bit to do the SEC thing. Do you know what? I want to let y'all know. Joel talked about dick licking earlier this year with the SEC. I'll tell y'all something right now. You know what underserved form of dick riding is? Hating. Shout out to my homie Charlemagne the God, one of my closest friends. He told me one time, he was like, people never say this, but hating is a form of dick riding. Nobody was talking about the big bad SEC. Anytime you get the opportunity to bring it up, I'm talking about Texas A&M.
There's a narrative out there, and I feel like
it's an accomplishment to go 7-1 in the SEC, then lose in the first round of the playoffs, not win the league, right? Not win your rivalry game.
Just a
Texas
tiebreaker
A&M, be excited that something's happening, but don't start talking about where you are until it actually happens.
I think that is actually an Aggie thing. I don't feel like I feel like they probably feel like, oh, it happened to us again. And my few A&M friends that I have, and they were hitting me up like, oh man, I can't believe it. It's like it wasn't like they
Roland
were
Martin,
shocked it
you
happened.
talk to him?
No, I don't know Roland Martin. Man, I'm not famous. You know, I'm not like you. You know, Van.
Not yet.
I'm
Bo,
you're on your way, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know Roland Martin.
You know Bo. You know people in media. Like
I've worked with Bo. Bo was my coworker first, and that's why I know him.
The fact that you never crossed paths with Roland, that's on you, man.
I feel like Roland blocked me. I feel like Roland may have blocked me. He got mad at me on Twitter.
Wait. Hold on for a second. Stop.
Roland.
Why would Roland have blocked you? Why would Roland Martin have blocked you on Twitter?
I probably cursed.
At Roland?
I don't. You know how it is, man. He may have said something I didn't agree with, and
you
quote tweeted him. And
he's the big
Billy
A&M
is
fan.
saying that Joel knows the story.
I don't know the story, Billy.
He won't share the story.
I don't know the story.
What happened with you and Roland Martin?
Nothing happened because I don't have beef with Roland because I like Roland, man. I think he's great. He's a Houstonian, went to Yates High School.
So why would do me a favor. Go to your Twitter right now and see if Roland Martin has you blocked.
Okay, hold on. You really want me to do this?
He knows.
You're slandering him.
I think Billy's
No,
right.
I don't think he has me blocked. I don't think he has me blocked.
This could be a Herb Street situation where
I don't think he
has
has me
blocked
blocked
anymore.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Roland. He doesn't follow me though.
He doesn't. So what? He doesn't follow you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm nobody to Roland.
He don't.
I'm not somebody worth following.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, he's famous.
If you guys don't know, Roland Martin is a very prominent and respected black journalist. He's been on CNN, a bunch of different places. He has his own independent network, like over 1 million, 2 million subscribers on YouTube. He's doing
Shout out.
He's doing all
Roland
kinds
Martin
of work.
Unfiltered.
For some reason, him and Joel have some sort of a thing. Roland's
I don't have a
Texas
thing.
A&M
I'm
fan.
just saying. I don't remember exactly what it was. It happens despite what Billy says, and and there was a thing. I said something to him that probably, in all fairness, wasn't kind.
You irked him. Yeah.
I'm sure I did. Yeah, I mean, man, when you're first on social media, and maybe this is what people will say as being a hater or whatever, but every now and again, people don't engage with you, and you never think anybody's paying attention to what you say. So early on, when nobody knew who I was, I might quote tweet a celebrity or quote tweet somebody, and if I thought they said something stupid, I would basically say that. And that's but then after a while, I picked my little bit of followers picked up, and it still ain't shit. Like it ain't, it's under 70,000.
Go follow Joel if you're listening right now.
No, don't follow me on Twitter.
Joel seems to have a big
Follow me on
issue.
Blue Sky. Follow me on
Follow
Blue
Joel
Sky.
on Blue Sky. Joel
Follow
seems
me
to
on Blue
have-
Sky. Don't follow me on Twitter.
Joel
Twitter
seems to
makes
have a
me
big
sad.
issue with who is following him or not following him, or we can talk about that again at the end of the show with Joel getting mad about people following us and not following us. But let's try to get back to the games with Joel. You going crazy, bro. You going crazy these days.
No,
bro.
I mean, the whole point of this was that you got all worked up because I wanted to bring up the A&M went 7-1 in the mighty SEC. They were one half away from playing in the SEC championship game as the top seed, and so I think that is worth something, and I think A&M would be excited about beating the heavyweights like LSU and South Carolina and Kentucky and stuff like that. Like that's a big deal.
What I'm saying is, for A&M to become a power team in the conference, I'm saying this year was a great step forward.
Yep.
It was, for sure. They played great football, but particularly out of conference. They had their biggest wins out of conference, right? Mm-hmm. So they played Notre Dame. They played great football. But as far as what's going on and what's going to be lasting for them, as far as establishing SEC dominance, hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
National dominance hasn't happened yet. So when it happens, celebrate it then. Until then, go back to work, and they will.
Yeah. The biggest thing they did this year is keep Notre Dame out of the playoff, right? That's probably the biggest thing they can hang their hat on, which that's not really the best thing because, again, it's about someone else's failure more so than your own success.
I feel like A&M also had a great season for a school with a wealthy booster populace because, like, they did so well that the boosters are like, oh, yeah, man, we're right there. We're right there. But they're also at a level like, well, man, if we pitch in a few more million, we can finally get there. Like it's one of those seasons that's like perfect if you're asking for money. It's like, look, man, we just need a little bit more. We'll get Marcel more help, get some more help on those lines. Like it seems like you could really build off of this with that fan base that is really excited about eventually getting to the places, like the championship game and winning a game in the playoffs.
Joel, I don't know Texas dynamics as well as you do, so I wanted to ask, are they looking at Texas Tech saying, and same with Texas, I guess, too, do they look at Texas Tech and say to themselves, how are they doing this and not us? Like how do they have a bye game? How are they in a position that's better than us out there in Lubbock?
What I guarantee you what they would say is that that would be us if we were in the Big 12. That would be their argument.
All right,
Texas would think that is supposed to be us, like because they and understandably they'll be like very few times in the history of these programs has Texas Tech ever been better than us, and same with A&M and Tech and Texas A&M probably would have been like it, and if OU is there still too, they'd be like, oh yeah, that would be us because OU they went to the SEC, they won the league like 15 times. And like half the titles in the time of its existence. So they think that they would be Texas Tech, and that's
Let
a
me
fair.
ask you something right now.
That's a
you
fair
line
thing.
up Texas Tech and Texas A&M right now, play a game, neutral field. Who wins the game?
Shit. Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech would be favored by about like 3 points.
I'm asking you. I can deal with that. Who do you think wins the game? A&M.
Texas Tech.
You think Texas Tech beats A&M neutral field right now?
Yeah, they got that defense, man. I don't think A&M could deal with that defense.
I would take A&M.
I would take A&M for sure.
Y'all take A&M? Why?
Yeah, I think A&M was going to win the game. Yeah, I think
All right.
Get fucked. Big 12 again, we up. I would definitely take that.
Okay, yeah, sure. I read about the mighty SEC. I got you. Mighty SEC, man.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do favorite bowl matchups, and then we're going to have TJ Finley joining us for a very special Big Van on campus where we debate whether TJ Finley should keep playing college football. We'll be right back after the break. Ringer Tailgate is brought to you by FanDuel. 'Tis the season to be boosting on FanDuel because this year you're getting 7 straight days of holiday rewards, each one waiting in the app for you to unwrap. Every day brings a new way to play, so keep checking in to see what drops next. And it all leads to the Christmas Day special where you can get something extra special. Right now, my favorite bet is looking at the futures here. You got a national championship futures bet. Georgia, the Bulldogs, I'm in, plus 500. It's moving and trending in the other direction. So get it while you can. 7 days of gifts, one big finale. Head to FanDuel.com/tailgate to get in the holiday spirit. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. All right, we're back. We're your tailgate. We're talking favorite bowl matchups. Obviously, everything's about the CFP these days, but we do want to highlight just some of our favorite bowls that are in the future, something to look forward to. Also, if there's a bowl that you've watched so far, that you've been moved by. I watched the, Idaho Famous Potato Bowl, Wazoo. Nice win for that team. So it was good to see them win without a head coach. That was nice. Van, I'll go to you first. Favorite bowl matchup on the board or favorite bowl game that you've watched so far?
Citrus. I want to see Texas versus Michigan. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl is what I want to see. I want to see if Biff can get the kids to play. I want to see if white women are allowed at the game or if they're too much of a temptation. I want to see what goes on when two teams with these types of storylines meet up. Texas, which is asking the question of what could have been this year if they had made the playoff or, played better in different spots, how Arch responds in his first big bowl start, and then what happens at Michigan. Michigan is so embattled right now. We haven't talked about Michigan football in a long time, although we've talked a lot about Michigan. That by far, obviously I got to watch the Texas Bowl, LSU and Houston, but that by far is going to be my favorite as a fan college football matchup to watch.
And they're saying Biff Poggi he's interviewing for the head coaching job. So there's a little bit of smoke that maybe he wants to be the next head coach at Michigan. He said they need to clean things up. So maybe this is his job interview. So that will be a fascinating game. We'll see what happens in that one. Joel, do you suspect that you're going to watch that game, or is there another bowl game on the board for you?
Oh yeah, I'll watch that. I'm gonna be grazing the whole time. This LSU Houston game is fascinating to me because I'd forgotten that LSU was bowl eligible and was going to be playing a bowl.
Disrespectful.
And I'm just like, well, how's this coaching breaking? Is it still just the Frank Wilson staff, or is Frank already at Ole Miss? Like, who's left to make this happen? That's what I'm just sort of curious about, because I'd forgotten about them when it was over. It's just such a, LSU might be in hell, man. They got to play the Cougs in Houston. That's a
I don't think LSU's going to win the bowl game.
Yeah, that's going to be a real good showcase for the Cougars. Man.
I don't think LSU's going to win the bowl game. I also think though that they got people, nigga. Okay.
Okay. All right. They do. Who's going to be the quarterback?
But you know what you're doing? You know what Joel is doing?
Is it going to be the Van
Fake care. I hate fake care. Anything fake care, fake hustle. I hope LSU is gonna be all right. Nah, we gonna be fine. Don't worry about us. Which bowl is TCU playing in? Let's hate on them.
Oh yeah,
TCU's in the Alamo Bowl.
Let's see what it is.
USC.
Alamo Bowl. Who they got?
USC.
Yeah, USC,
USC.
TCU. Yeah.
Hey,
we lost our quarterback.
Our
quarterback. Josh Hoover is in the portal now, man.
Yeah, he left. He didn't want to play for Sonny Dykes no more. I saw that. This is a big game. So this is a big game in the history of TCU. If TCU won this game, this would officially be the biggest win in the history of the program.
You know what?
TCU.
No.
TCU.
I bet, man. I wish TCU had played at LSU, man.
I wish they'd have played them too.
We would have bust our ass, man. It would have been so fun.
Maybe they would have. And the Alamo Dome. This is the biggest game in TCU history.
TCU went undefeated and won a Rose Bowl in 2010.
Right. So this is bigger than that because this is TCU. This is their opportunity to prove who they are. So I can't wait. I can't wait for this game. What is this? This is the
also
the Alamo?
TCU. You know what?
Alamo Bowl, December 30th.
Alamo Bowl. Alamo Bowl. Hey, remember the Alamo.
Actually, a TCU victory over USC is what you could argue kick-started our golden generation.
What was the golden generation of TCU?
I mean, I don't know, like 98 till 2014. That's the golden era of TCU.
Okay, so what happened? What they win during that time?
Well, let's see. I just told you they were undefeated, won a Rose Bowl. They played in like 3 or 4 BCS games. I can't remember them all, but they played in the field. Yeah.
And so in the golden era of TCU football, golden era. Hold on.
That's right. Right.
TCU golden era. Let's see what they accomplished. So in the golden era of TCU football, dominance.
Can't wait for this clip.
They were. So they what did they win? Like what numbers did they put on the board?
Okay, do you want me to look it up? Okay,
yeah, please look it up.
I'll just go ahead. All right.
I thought you were looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to see what it is.
I didn't know I had to do a Wikipedia entry here.
Okay, I'm trying to see what they did. Like,
okay,
so they did win the Big 12. They won the Big 12.
Oh my God, we won the Big 12 several times. But yeah,
they won it in 2020, 2021, 2024.
Yeah,
undefeated.
That's not
record.
the golden era though.
Yeah, but okay, what's the golden era? Billy.
He said 2014 was the capper.
I'm just like, as the golden era of your school that you're a prestigious alum from, how do you not know what they've accomplished in the golden era?
Because I can't remember because it was so many BCS games and stuff like that.
I was like,
too many accomplishments. I couldn't remember.
That was the golden era.
Okay, all right, here you go. You ready? Do you want to hear the golden era?
Give it to us.
Okay, so 99 they go 8-4. Top the first in the West.
I'm
listen. I'm giving you. I'm building.
Ain't nobody asking for no recount.
We're building. Let me get started.
2000,
10-2. They tied for first in the conference.
Okay.
Gary Patterson. It's rough. 6-6. That's first year. They end up in the Gallery Furniture Bowl. I was at that game. They went.
Everybody remembers the Furniture Bowl.
They went 10-2. Finished first in the Conference USA and won the Liberty Bowl. 2003. They go 11-2. And finished second in Conference USA. 2004, they go 5-6. 2005, 11-1, finished first in the Mountain West. 2006, 11-2, finished second, win the Poinsettia Bowl. 2007, 8-5, won the Texas Bowl. 2008, 11-2, win the Poinsettia Bowl again. Now, here we go. 2009, 12-1, losing the Fiesta. 2010,
just so we know.
Who was it? Was Boise State? It was Boise State. Yeah, they made
that's worse.
Boise State got Oklahoma too. Boise State was
the Boise State.
That was 07.
Yeah, that was the height of Boise State. Boise State was on
that was the height of Boise State. We got some of them. Yeah, and then 2011, 11-2. They first in Mountain West, and they got sent to the Poinsettia Bowl again.
Poinsettia Bowl.
They got sent to the Poinsettia because the segregation in college football.
Okay,
is crazy,
just keep on. They in the Mountain West. Just like
all right.
So far, they've won 3.
Now we're in the Big 12. Now we're in the Big 12.
Bowl.
They're 7-6. They lost the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl.
No.
2013, they went 4-8. They were tied for 7th. 2014, 12-1, tied for first. They should have gone to the playoff that year, but they elevated Ohio State over us on the last week, even though we beat Iowa State 55-3. Pretty much what Notre Dame is going through right now, that's what TCU went through, except they were number 3 in the country at the time. So anyway.
Who'd they play that year in the bowl game?
Oh, they played Ole Miss. They played Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl, and we dogged the SEC out.
What was Ole Miss's record that year? I don't remember. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they were 9-3. That was
9-3. So that's like
so they were 9-2 going into the bowl.
So they were probably.
That was Hugh Freeze.
And they were a top 10 team. They were a top 10 team at the time.
Okay, cool. So what else? This is the golden era of football.
Guess it.
That's
yeah.
it. That was
I
last
told you.
year.
I
That's
gave
it.
it to you. I
That's
went
the
to-
golden era of football.
Well, and you know what? And it's crazy because that's our golden era, and it doesn't even include our national championship appearance.
So
that's how
the
good
national
TCU is
championship
good as a
appearance.
program now.
So the golden,
But the golden
that's
era
the
was
golden era.
98. Yeah.
That was the post-golden era. Yeah.
Yeah, that
was
was a
the-
post-golden era hit. That's right.
The
Okay.
golden era started with an 8-4. Then you had a 7-5.
I was building. It was building. It was building. But those were the run of important bowl victories when TCU was part of the national conversation. TCU is the reason that we have so many schools in FBS right now, because so many people looked at TCU and they said, "Man, look what they built at that school that had really had no tradition." They were one of the few schools that played their way off of JV into a power conference. And so a lot of schools have fooled themselves into believing that they can do what TCU did. But what TCU did is a miracle, and they still didn't really get all the chances they deserved along the way. They still got denied an opportunity to play in the playoff during the year when they clearly deserved it. That's
Now,
all I'm saying.
Obviously, it would be ridiculous to compare TCU's golden era to LSU's golden era. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. It would be stupid. That makes no sense. You
Would be what, in
realize
the
that.
50s? What
You
years
realize
were those
that.
golden eras?
You
Okay.
realize that LSU.
Let's go there. Let's see the LSU golden era. What's that? Give me their great
2000 to
generation.
2019. So that's 3 national championships. That's playing for a 4th.
Okay,
right?
yeah,
That's 6
okay.
SEC championships.
Y'all played for a fourth?
Yeah, we played for
Oh,
it.
the one. That's right. You got. Oh, that's right. We got
2011.
shut out.
Like
That's
so
right.
that's
Okay, my bad.
6.
Okay.
That's
All right.
that's 3 national
I forgot.
championships. That's playing
It's
for
no
another one.
poinsettia bowl, that's for sure.
6 SEC championships. This is in the whole Alabama era of dominance, particularly in the 19 and
Okay. So
that's
that's
also
a good
fielding what some people believe is the greatest season in college football history. Not the
Some
greatest
people feel
team.
it.
The Miami team got that, but the greatest season and the greatest run in college football history with all the NFL play. Obviously, there's no comparison, but I just want to know what TCU
2008
era was.
during this great run, y'all went 8-5. 2009 went 9-4.
Hey,
2012 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, 8-4, 9-4. I mean, again, there were a lot of 3 and 4 lost seasons during this great run.
How many
I'm not
five
saying, hold on.
championships?
I didn't say sustained
All right.
every year, not the way
okay.
LSU does it. But I would
That's
say
right.
if you were comparing the golden eras,
I mean,
it is what it
LSU
is.
is
So
a
shout out to
better.
TCU.
LSU is a better football program than TCU. Yes, that's what we have figured that out. We
TCU
needed to go
golden
through a
era
whole
dominance.
thing. That's all right. TCU's been in the playoffs more recently than LSU, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah,
I
they've
think
also
next time,
lost-
Joe, when you do the golden era,
Yeah,
you start with
I don't
2000.
care about what we lost by.
Yeah,
we were there.
I
Y'all
know.
were at home.
Right.
Y'all were at home.
You were there. You were there. What's
We
the
were
score?
there.
What's the score? Give me the score.
I
Final
don't
score.
care. It doesn't
Final
matter.
score. Just tell
it
me.
Doesn't matter.
Joe,
Just
start with
humor me.
2000.
They beat the team that won the national championship. the
Just
next
humor
year.
me. Just humor me with the final score.
No, you can look
Just
it up.
can't. No, I can't.
Go to
do that.
Grokkapedia.
I
Go to
can't.
Grokkapedia.
I was at that
Just
game.
humor me with the final score. It's fun.
I'm not going to do it.
No. All right. Cool. My bad. My bad. I respect TCU though, because
Yeah,
I
I
like.
know. You should.
What's his name? Not. What was the quarterback that they had?
Andy Dalton?
Nah, not Andy Dalton. I don't like
Max
Trevon
Duggan?
Boykin?
Max Duggan.
Max Duggan.
I
Yeah,
like
Max
little
Duggan. He's a
Dougie.
dog.
That's a rugged name of a quarterback, Max Duggan.
Quentin Johnson,
Quentin
great player
Johnson.
for the
What was
Chargers.
the other guy that they had?
Yeah.
The receiver that teams made the mistake of drafting him over Jordan Jefferson. What was his name? Didn't he go to TCU?
Are you talking
Joel,
about
I'm looking at you.
Josh Dotson?
No. What was the no? Rager didn't go to TCU, did he?
Oh, Monte Rager, yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. Man. Monte
Jalen Rager.
Jalen Rager went to TCU.
Okay, Monte Rager is his dad. That's right.
So
Monte
Jalen
is his
Rager
dad.
went to
I'm an old
TCU,
person.
and then people
Yeah, it's
thought
okay.
it would be a good idea to draft him over Jordan Jefferson, and then that's
That was
what
the
happened.
Eagles.
Jalen Rager was, I mean, I don't know how to explain it
really
to
good.
people, but
He was cool. He was cold.
At
He was
the
cold.
time,
I'm not
I thought he was
Nobody
the best
was
skill
saying
position
anything
player
crazy.
post LaDainian Tomlinson. I was like, okay, like that kid in terms of his change of direction, all that stuff, and he played with some quarterbacks that really did not. He dealt with a lot of shit in his time at TCU, man. So anyway,
He was the man, and then he came to the. Is he in the? I think he's in the league. He played for the Chargers last year. I don't want to hate on him.
Yeah. Why would
He's
you?
a good player.
Why would
no,
you?
no
He was,
hate.
he was a good player at TCU.
He was a great player at TCU. That's right.
A few more bowl games I want to shout out just because they're interesting matchups. Pinstripe Bowl, Penn State, Clemson, two teams that were supposed to be in the national championship game playing in the Pinstripe Bowl. Who would have saw that coming? Pretty crazy. Pop-Tarts Bowl, Georgia Tech, BYU. They got the little Pop-Tart funfetti on the helmets. That'll be fun this year to see that.
Notre Dame,
Gator
you could have
Bowl.
been there. You could have enjoyed. You could have had that fun.
Come on,
Notre Dame
you
didn't
should've
even
been
want to
there.
go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl. They don't care about college football like that.
Yeah,
Lord,
they don't
Notre
love
Dame.
the grind.
They don't give a
They don't
shit.
love the game.
They don't love
We
that
got
game.
Virginia, Missouri, Gator Bowl. That should be a good game. Music City Bowl, Tennessee, Illinois, which I feel like is a little bit under the radar. Two teams in the SEC and the Big Ten that had good starts to the year. Should be an interesting game. The ReliaQuest Bowl, Iowa, Vanderbilt. So we'll see
That'd be a good
Pavia
game.
for the last time. Yeah, on December 31st. So that should be a good game.
Pavia gonna play in that game, huh? Woo.
Yeah, apparently so.
Will Diego Pavia be able to recover mentally from his Heisman disappointment, and will Vanderbilt be able to recover from their disappointment of not making a playoff to come up and win that game? It would be a very embarrassing loss for Vanderbilt if they lost the game.
I think they beat them bad. I think it's a statement game. Clark Lee's kind of had them focused. Yeah, I would lean in on Vanderbilt trying to send a message through that game if I had to guess. Yeah, Diego Pavia. I like that one.
And again, Vanderbilt, man. I mean, it's maybe it's the greatest season in school history.
Yeah,
probably
gotta finish it right.
You gotta
era.
finish it right.
It's their golden era.
It's their golden era.
It's their golden era.
It's their golden era. That's right.
Yeah. A couple other games after the new year. We have Wake Forest, Mississippi State, and the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and then we have the Holiday Bowl, Arizona,
got his own
SMU.
bowl?
No, Duke's Mayo. That's where they eat the mayonnaise after they win in Charlotte. Terrible bowl game.
Man, Wake Forest versus
Terrible.
Mississippi State, man. Whew.
Oof. Tough one. But there you have it. There's bowl season. Let's get to it. Big Van on campus, a very special one. We got TJ Finley joining us now. Let's turn it over to TJ. All right, as promised, Big Van on campus, very special. A follow-up Big Van on campus. Joining us now, we've got a college football name that we all know, TJ Finley, in the place to be. TJ, how's it going, man?
It's going good. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, I'll turn it over to you, Van. This is you. You talked about TJ a couple weeks ago, and we want to kind of hear your story first, TJ, and then we'll talk about what's happening in college football. But Van, I'll turn it over to you, man.
Yeah, so TJ, before we get into the conversation around players like yourself and extended college football careers, I read an article in The Advocate about you down there. I'm from Baton Rouge. And I just want to hear your story as you tell it. Tell your college football story to people who have an opinion like myself on your college football journey. Tell your story.
Yeah, man, it's been a whirlwind of events. And if you were to tell me 3 or 4 years ago that my college career would look like this, I would say you're full of SHI.
You can say it, TJ. Just let it fly, brother.
Yeah. But I've matured into a very well-spoken, understanding young man, and I have a responsibility now with my 3 younger boys, to help them understand what their father went through, right? Don't shy away from the truth and to kind of live in it, right? So I'll take you back to 2020 LSU, COVID year, wanted to stay close to the family, was a good opportunity to be solidified as the backup. Me and Max Johnson were battling for that backup spot with Miles Brennan being the known starter. Miles goes down, gets hurt. I play 5-6 games that year. Do pretty well.
3 touchdowns in your first game, TJ, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And very promising, first couple games, and then, season as a freshman, I believe. And then, got some insight on what the next season would look like. So I made a decision for myself to be able to transfer to Auburn, knowing that, Coach O would only have 1 year left if we weren't to win that year. And knowing that Jamar Chase and all those guys were opting out and we didn't have a lot of, we were going to be young. So as you can tell, in the 2021 season, they were very young, right? They had Keyshawn Butte, they had Brian Thomas Jr., they had Malik Neighbors and all of those guys, but they were all freshmen and sophomores, right? So very young team, but a very talented team, didn't do so well. I kind of saw that before it happened, ended up going to Auburn. Brian Harsin, we all know how that went.
Yeah.
And then from that point on, it was kind of like, I need to put myself in a position where I'm playing. I'm on the field 24/7. I'm not having to split reps. I'm not having to do, and I'm also in explosive offense, right? So decided to go to Texas State. Those coaches that came over from UIW, they led their league in passing yards and total offense and stuff like that. So that was a great decision, in my opinion, to go there and submit myself in Texas State history and to get back on the draft board, right? Just to be able to let everybody know that this kid can do it, he can spin it, he can come to the next level and be a secure backup and possibly fight for a job to be a starter in the NFL. So this is where stuff gets a little rocky. So I have my twins in October of that year, right, 2023. And so now NIL has started to pick up a little bit. My last year at Auburn, then Texas State was kind of the start of the NIL type of deal.
So the NIL
And
money wasn't really coming in for you until that third school.
no, so I was getting NIL from Auburn my
Okay.
second year.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
The year that I won the job, and that's when I signed the Amazon deal. I had the auto sports deal with the company down in Alabama and stuff like that. So I was getting NIL there for sure. And then but at the time the G5 schools didn't really have anything, right?
Right.
So go to Texas State, have that year. I asked the coaches, coming back, if I were to come back, would you guys be able to financially help me take care of my boys? Right. I can't really do that off $2,500 a month, $3,000 a month. That's just it's not feasible, right? My rent is $1,500 a month on top of gas and car note, all type of things, right? So I was genuinely deciding on either coming back or declaring for the NFL draft and just trying to make a roster, right? Because I'd rather go be a practice squad guy making, 12.5 a week for 18 weeks. You're just
Yeah, of
doing the
course.
math, right?
Yeah.
So I make that decision to come back, right? I announce it. I tell the coaches, look, I'm coming back. We'll figure out the finances later, however that looks. Well, 2 days later, I find out that they signed the Jaden Delore kid, right? A kid that has 1 year left, right? And to put this out there as well, nothing was communicated with me. Look, TJ, we're gonna bring in another guy to either have you compete with him, or he's gonna be the guy, or he's gonna be your backup. Just none of the three was communicated to me at all. So I found out through social media. I'm not a I'm not a guy that likes to tolerate disrespect. To me, that's disrespectful, right? For a guy that comes into your program, sets records, first bowl game in 20 plus years. So I'm kind of, I feel disrespected. So I had that conversation with them. No hard feelings or anything. And I just was like, listen, this is my decision that I'm gonna make. I feel disrespected, and you're not bringing a guy that only has 1 year left for no reason. Um, so I made the decision to get in the portal. Then go to Western Kentucky with Coach Tyson Helton. He's the head coach over there. Amazing decision, in my opinion. Right, a guy that has 3 or 4 quarterbacks that's on active NFL rosters to this day. He's had high powered offenses. Since the first day he stepped foot at Western Kentucky campus. Right. Um, so I feel like that was a good decision going there. And then unfortunately, the second game of the third game of the season that year, I tear every ligament in my ankle, fracture my fibula. So season-ending injury, right? Um, so at this point, my boys are close to being 1 year. Well, they had turned 1 years old right around the time I had surgery, which is crazy to me now that I'm thinking about it. And then I had my newborn was still in the womb, right, and he was getting ready to come in February. So my whole deal with after the 2024 Western Kentucky season was, and Coach Helton and I sat down and had a conversation, and he's best friends with Coach John Summerall, right? Coach Summerall reaches out to him and tells him that, listen, I think we're going to lose our quarterback to a P4 school. You guys have TJ or whatever. I had already shown interest to some inside people at Tulane that, listen, if you guys lose your quarterback, the possibility of me coming home, I would love that opportunity. So it was kind of like a deal where it just made sense, right, for everybody, right? I was coming home, I was able to be close to family. I was able to play for a school that, under Summerall, had a winning record and stuff like that. So I decided to go home and kind of make that my last hoorah, right? Have one more year left. And so that was my thought process going there. And then unfortunately, me making some bonehead decisions and not thinking things all the way through in regards to buying a vehicle. I put myself in a position where that opportunity was taken away from me, right? So having to you know, get in the portal and kind of leave Tulane because of the ongoing pending investigation and stuff like
Right.
that. That kind of was that Tulane situation. So people like to say 7 schools in 7 years. I don't really count Tulane, right? Like I was only there for the spring and kind of got in trouble, and that's the reason why I wasn't able to finish my career there. Um, and then the only school available at the time of me getting in the portal, because a lot of guys had already had their guys right for the spring, and they had I got in the portal the last day of the spring portal window, right? So a lot of guys had been in since day one and were able to find and pick their schools, throughout the whole process. So the only school available and that was kind of open to taking me was Georgia State at the time, right? So I go there, um, and so go taking you guys back to Tulane. Well, once I got arrested, right? Tulane has a no, like I want to say no arrest or something policy in
Like a
their
no
in
tolerance
their
policy.
no
Mm-hmm.
tolerance, right? So I got arrested. Not only did I get arrested, but I got arrested on campus, right? This is right
Mm.
after football practice. I'm coming out to the truck I assumed that I owned. And I get arrested on campus, right? And so my my availability and my resources on campus were taken away from me,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm.
I wasn't able to go to tutoring and academic advising meetings and stuff like that with my advisors. I had to do everything via phone, right? So that ultimately made my grades drop. And in the graduate program in Tulane, if you don't pass so I was taking 3 courses at the time. If you don't pass either with a 3 point, no, I think it's 3.25 or all B's. So if your cumulative of the semester isn't a 3.25 in graduate program or all B's, then they kick you out of the program,
Huh.
right? So this is where it gets kind of weird. So I get in the portal and I'm assuming that I'm going to be able to start, and practice and do all that type of stuff as soon as I sign to a school. Well, that's not the case. So with Tulane putting it on my academic transcript that I was academically ineligible at the time that I left Tulane because I was kicked out of their program.
Right.
I had to file a waiver slash hardship saying that, due to my circumstances, due to me being wrongfully arrested and stuff like that, because those charges ended up, getting dropped due to me completing my diversion program. Um, you know, so I had to do all that and go to the NCAA, and they didn't give us an answer until like I think it was like 3 or 4 days before we played Ole Miss, and so I had missed the entire fall camp. I missed the
Mm.
entire off season with them, and then week 2 we play some FCS school. That was my first. No, I'm sorry. Week 2 we played Memphis, and at the time
Mm.
Memphis was the top G5 school
It
to
was
be
rocking. Yeah.
Yeah.
they were going to get the playoff spot had they kept keep
Hmm.
winning and stuff like that. But
Right.
so yeah, man, it's been and honestly, I sat down with a lot of my coaches at Georgia State because they were a lot younger, right? So they were
Mm.
kind of understanding the situations I had put myself in. Um, and I was like, what do I do? Like I love this game. I want to play. But like it's been a lot, bro. Like and people don't understand my story. They laugh at it. They this, that, and the third. Yes, it's funny at times or whatever, like the memes and stuff. That's cool and all. But like when you sit down and just evaluate everything that TJ Finley has been through and all the decisions that he's made, a lot of the decisions to go from school to school were very calculated and were for a specific reason, right? Like the transfer from Texas State to Western Kentucky was great offense to even better offense, right? The transfer from Western Kentucky to Tulane was okay. He has kids. He's not able to be in their lives. The situation, they lost their quarterback. It was perfect, right? It was a perfect fit. He's able to come home, compete for the job, be the starter in his hometown. Like that's perfect, right? So I don't know. It's the deciding factor for me to jump back in the portal for this last time and kind of put myself in a position where I can have another full year and be healthy and produce to show NFL execs like, okay, this kid has been through a lot. He's a warrior. And he doesn't give up. He's going to keep fighting no matter what the circumstances are. I think that's where my mindset is now.
So when you see the 7 schools in 7 years, when you see all the things that you just listed, there's another part of that, which is a changing landscape of college football to where you're used to a guy coming in and playing for your team, representing your team and your culture and your state or whatever it is, playing for your team, maybe transferring once, maybe even twice, and then leaving. There are people that think your story, forget about that. I'll speak for myself. When I look at being a college football fan my entire life and seeing somebody go to 7 different places and it doesn't feel like college football. It seems like that story puts the game and the tradition that I love in jeopardy. It seems untenable and unsustainable. So I think a lot of the animus that you see for you trying to get another year or the NIL conversations or all of that stuff is because how can college football continue to exist in the way that college football has existed if you can A, play for 7 years and then B, play for 7 different schools? It scares people. Like, what do you say to that?
I think you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? I think it goes back to things aren't the way things were 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 plus years ago. So you guys that know and love college football the way it was in you guys' era, I think you now have to look at it and kind of say like, it's still college football, but really like we're kind of transitioning into pro football, right? We're basically being paid for play now. Like, our contracts and our money and direct deposits. Like my direct deposit from Georgia State literally said Georgia State like we're getting paid exactly from the university. Like it's different now, right? And I was having a conversation with my father the other day, and I was like, Pops, like, people can look at my story and laugh at it, but also like I might be one of the first athletes, for this change of how college football is now. Like, and so maybe, what's the word? Like people will be able to laugh at it, but at the end of the day, like my name will kind of be cemented in.
You feel like you're a trailblazer.
Exactly,
you're a
right?
pioneer,
So,
right?
absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's how, it's kind of moving and transitioning, if I'm being honest.
I mean, you kind of came up with a really lovely way to call us old. To people in your era of college football. It sounded like when people, but TJ, I actually had a question for you. So it is interesting because before you came on here, like before I'd read a little bit more about your story, I think there's a real way to be like, man, I bet TJ had a lot of fun in college, man. He went to going down to Texas State, being at LSU, being at Auburn or whatever. But as we've talked with you, it feels to me, and you can just tell me, and you kind of hinted at this, that it feels more like a business. Like this is a very transactional sort of thing. So is it true that this feels like a business for you now? And at what point did this all start to feel like a business and not just I'm a Louisiana kid, my dream is to play at LSU?
Yeah, I think the second I left LSU, it became business, right? I think a lot of why I made the decision to go to LSU was I'm this hometown kid, I'm the hometown hero. Let's stay in Louisiana and make it happen in Louisiana, right? Then who doesn't want to play for the national championship team, right?
Of course.
Who doesn't want to follow that year up and try to compete for another natty and SEC championship, things like that. I think as I've transitioned into a more mature young man and being on my own and stuff like that, it's kind of the second I left LSU, it kind of turned into a business, and it's been business transactions from that point on. But not only just business, but being able to network with so many different people, right? So many different ethnicities, race, all type of things, religious backgrounds, a lot of different coaches that I've had to, kind of what's the word? Like, you know, I've just met so many people, so many coaches, and I think that's kind of what's you know been helping me out so far. Is
Yeah.
I've you know I've everywhere I've went, like I have a good background. I have a good, you know, I leave a good impression on that university and on that coaching staff. So I think you know it's always been, you know, ever since LSU, it's always been business for me.
So you have graduated, right? So you've gotten
Yeah.
a degree.
Yes.
What's your
True.
degree in?
I graduated from Auburn in 2024. No, 2023. I'm sorry, in business marketing.
TJ, you realize you've been in college so long you don't remember the year that you graduated.
Absolutely. And you know what's crazy is I didn't walk either. So we were in fall camp at Texas State, you know, around the time that Auburn had their ceremony, and so I decided not to walk to make sure I was dialed in for the fall camp.
What
Well,
if
that's business right there.
Yeah.
It is. But what if I told you that you have 3 kids, you're a college graduate, you got
Right.
a degree from a school that they can't play no football, but it's a good school. Shout out to the Auburn War Eagle people. All right.
Oh, okay.
You have a degree. There is a thought that you are actually, by continuing on your journey as a college football player, prolonging your career as a college football player, but stifling your development as a man to go out and get a job, to go out and provide for that family with a college degree to do so. If you continue on your journey and you achieve your dream and you make it to the NFL, I don't know that anybody that's a good person and a good-hearted person that wouldn't want you to do that. But what about the people that would say, you know what, I want brothers and young men like yourself to realize that they are more than football, that they are more than what they can do with their right arm or their body, and that they can take their degrees and go into society and make money and provide for their families doing stuff with their minds as well.
TJ, if you want me to go after him, I'll do it. You know, if you want me,
I'm gonna take a
Okay.
little piece and then I'm gonna let you get a little piece.
Okay, yeah.
So what
Yeah.
what you
Damn, I'm
like
about to run a
to
train.
people that thinks and says those type of things, I'm gonna just say this and I'm gonna let my guy go at you because I know y'all probably are a lot closer in relationship than me and you are. But would you rather be, you know, if we're talking about taking care of your family and kids and all of that stuff, right? How many guys at the age in between the age of 23 and 27, 28 are making 6 figures a year?
How many people are making 6 figures a year?
Yeah.
Not as
like,
many as there used to be.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
if you were to tell me that statistic, right? And then you would tell me that you could play in college football for 6, 7 years and make 6 figures a year consistently on, you know, which route would you go?
Which route would I go?
Yeah, I'm at anybody, you know, whoever.
Yeah.
What sounds more feasible to you? Would you rather?
Well, I mean, so
go
I agree with what
would
you're
you
saying.
rather go
Like,
play the game that you love to play and compete at the highest level and
That's right. Tell
continue
him.
to chase your dream for however long you can do it and make 6 figures, or would you rather go box Amazon packages and you know, like let's be honest. I think a lot of people that think like that, they're self-sabotaging themselves. Like,
right.
why would you give up on the dream that if people are, let's say, it's not like I'm paying a school to walk on to their, you know, like guys are reaching out to me and giving me opportunities to continue my career. It's
so
not
there
like
have been,
I'm-
real quick, there have been teams that have reached out to you that have given you the opportunity to continue to play college football.
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's
you would be-
interest in that.
Yes, you would be a fool if
Okay.
you didn't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
Call him a fool. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I could be a fool.
Yeah,
I'm
call
trying
him
to
a
get
fool.
the story here. I'm not,
No, not
you know,
him specifically. I'm just
slurping.
saying in general, like,
Yeah, well, he is a fool, but that's fine.
So,
but yeah, I'll go ahead.
so this is what I understand what you're saying. The best way for you to make money right now is as a college football player, right?
Yes.
You're going that right. The most money you can make right now is as a college football player. Okay. Now, if I'm wrong about it, say that.
I mean, sure.
Okay. So I mean, what I'm gathering is what you're saying right now is My skill set allows me to go make the most money
Yes,
possible as a college
absolutely,
football player right now. Okay.
absolutely, yes,
But
yes,
you're also thinking about a future in the NFL and a future providing for your family.
yes.
You think you still have a shot at the NFL.
I believe so. Yes.
How much does your opportunity at the NFL influence the decision that you're making right now? Is it more about you still having the chance to go make millions of dollars in the league, or is it about the right now of you being a college football player and being able to provide for your family in the immediacy of this moment?
It's more so about the opportunity to, I wouldn't even say make millions in the NFL. Like, it's more about the opportunity to make it to the NFL, period.
And you don't feel like you have enough tape right now to go into the NFL and get drafted.
No, not with what the 2 years for my, no, no, sir, I do not.
You've made 33 starts. How much more tape do you feel like you need?
I think I need a full healthy season,
Okay.
and I think I need to, just a full healthy season and a productive, healthy season. I think with the last 2 years with the injury and all of that stuff, I think that hindered my opportunity to either get drafted late, sixth, seventh round, or be a high priority undrafted free agent.
Okay. Last question before I let Joe go.
Yeah, I was supposed to get my piece earlier, but that's okay.
Yeah, last question before I let Joe go. With everything that's happened with you, with everything that the rocky road that you've had in your college football career, and by the way, let's just be real. A lot of people, for
Yeah.
things within their control and outside of their control, have college football careers that are up and down. All kinds of people. Some people, they find their way. Some people, they end up going to do it at the next level, or they find their way to the NFL in a different way. How much of what you've gone through in your college career is a result, do you feel like, of bad breaks and bad luck? And how much of it do you feel like is mistakes that you made as a quarterback or as a guy?
I would say I I'm a guy that takes a lot of accountability, right? I'm responsible for the things that happen in my life, right? God willing that, anything happens, I'm responsible for it, right? And I think the things that I've went through were for a reason, and I've learned and grown in those seasons. I think a lot of my career and how it went was a mixture of both, right? I think injuries are out of my control. I think I don't want to really call it disrespect, but just not communicating between player and coaches, kind of, turmoils a relationship, and that player doesn't want to play for you anymore.
Yeah.
I think those are bad breaks and kind of out of my control, right? And the trouble I got myself into at Tulane is my control, right? Me leaving Auburn, and, after an injury, kind of out of my control, right? Me leaving LSU was my control.
Right.
Like, so I think it's about 50-50. Like, I didn't have to leave LSU my sophomore year and go to Auburn. I could have, stayed and competed another year and just saw how it went out. But I think it's about equal.
Joel, get your piece.
All right, let me get my piece. Well, I mean, y'all already really covered it most of it, but I mean, because I think TJ said it and said it very well, that this is setting him up, right? Like, this is what you think is the best case scenario for you to get to the NFL. So keep keeping that in mind. Like, what are you looking for? Are you trying to go to a school and start thinking I'm gonna get 12 starts, or you want to go to like a high profile place and be a backup and just kind of show the NFL that, hey, I can also serve in a reserve capacity too and get all those reps?
Yeah, I think both have definitely been thoughts and options for sure. I've been reached out to in both capacities. I think me personally, and this is conversation that I've had with high profile schools as well. I'm an ultimate competitor, right? Like, I can be a backup and be a service guy, but I don't think that will get me to the NFL.
Of
Like,
course it won't.
I know I'm just not a believer in that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, the way my career has went, the way things have unfolded. I think, even if I were to go to a big FCS school and throw for 3,500 yards and stay healthy and stuff like that, like, the league would still see me as a very good, possible backup and stuff like that. And I think who I am as a person would allow them to believe that, this guy will be a good service to our team. He'll be a great locker room guy, this, that, and the third. And those would be conversations that I would have pre-draft, right? Like, letting guys know, yeah, I've been a starter everywhere I've went. But I do not have a problem, competing with a guy that you bring in, pushing him to be better, and also being a leader and a vocal leadership. The leadership doesn't go anywhere just because I'm not starting, right? I think me being a starter everywhere I've went, that kind of allows me to see things in a bird's eye view of helping guys and pushing guys and things like that. I think that's the kind of the story and the narrative that I'm going with when it comes to the NFL draft.
Okay. So, TJ, you are a quarterback.
Right.
So you are the tone setter for the entire offense, but really, as a starting quarterback, the tone setter for the entire team.
Absolutely.
How important for you is it for you to demonstrate, not even necessarily with what you do on the field in your play and your numbers, but the fact that you can demonstrate consistency at a place, because particularly with a quarterback going to a bunch of different places, being around this long, what it looks like to a lot of people is that you can't maintain the competitive consistency and the cultural standard that needs to undergird a program, which is what people are looking for in a quarterback. How important is it for you to show people that you can stay healthy a whole season, that you can keep a team up a whole season, that you can keep a team operating for a whole season, that you can put together a consistency and a standard that your college can benefit from and your employer in the NFL can look at and say, okay, I can trust this guy every Sunday to come in and be a backup, or every Sunday to come in and be a starter, or to be a productive part of our culture that we know maybe we'll fight through some injuries, or maybe you won't make that mistake. Do you need a full season, all of those games of doing that, to demonstrate that to people, that you have your head on straight?
I don't think I need a full season to demonstrate that, but that is a good insight that, I'm able to now look at it that way as well. That, like you said, employers in the NFL are looking for guys like that, right? But I don't think you can look at my career and say that I'm not that 100%, right? I think the situations that I've put myself in each and every program that I've been to, I've been able to uphold a high standard of excellence at each, university, right? And I think it just goes based off just conversations and knowing me as a person, right? I think sitting down and understanding who TJ Finley is as a person and what he cares about and the things that matter to him the most, you'll just have to make that decision for yourself. Is this guy gonna be, am I willing to lay my money on the line for this kid and for him to be trustworthy? I think if you look outside in, you might be able to say like, yeah, this, that's the case. But if you truly sit down and have the conversation and kind of, go about it that way, I think, guys will feel comfortable.
I don't want to, well, TJ, I don't want to make any presumptions about like what's next for you, whatever. But I look at your resume actually, and I think, oh, that sounds like a coach. Like I look at somebody that you've been under a bunch of different coaches, offensive coordinators, a bunch of different systems. So you've had a lot of exposure to that. Right. You've had to make friends in a bunch of different locker rooms. It ain't like you left and people have been like, man, we glad TJ Finley is gone, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a big part of it too. Like you've been able to assimilate into all these different cultures. So I'm just kind of wondering, is that been something that you've also been talking about with your board of directors, so to speak, and also these coaches about, hey, I could probably do this coaching thing too.
No, because
really, this man want to play football, Joe.
But
stop trying to make him into a coach, Joe.
No, because you know what?
Next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna tell me he needs to play safety. Now stop trying to. This man want to play football. He done already said that.
Look, listen. Because here's the thing. I feel like I'm not gonna put this on you, TJ, but I feel like if you were 6 shades lighter, you would have had that pipeline. Them coaches would have groomed you for all that. They'd be like, oh yeah, this is somebody who's been in all these different huddles, all these different locker rooms, and there would have been a path for you to go be a coach and be making be a millionaire by the time you're 30 years old coaching, because that could have been a way too. And I'm just kind of surprised that hasn't come up. That none of these other coaches that he's played for or that you work for have been like, well, hey man, when the football thing is over, it doesn't work out, or you play as long as you want. Come on here, and I'm gonna show you we can run this offense together. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That has definitely been a conversation that I've had with a lot of my offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches that are now offensive coordinators. But the end, like, my answer to those guys are, man, you guys are away from y'all families too much. Like my boys and my family means everything to me, right? Like being, going to practice and then coming home and seeing my 10-month-old smile and call me dad, like that means the world to me. And sitting down and game planning and all of that type stuff and being in the office, that's just not something I'm interested in. And I do it during the season because that's my job and I love to do it. And that's a sacrifice that I make, but I just can't make that sacrifice year or like, the offensive coordinators and head coach, they're doing that year around. Like they're going on recruiting visits. I'm just not interested in doing all that.
Particularly in college. Yeah. I mean, the workload of an NFL quarterback is pretty crazy too. But
right.
All right, listen, you know what, brother? I'm gonna tell you something. Two things. One is an observation, and the second one is just an overall statement. Number one, the smartest thing you could have done after all of those headlines, should I say it, came out, headlines and heads came out, was to do what you're doing right now, is to do interviews on it. Because it's very difficult to make the jokes. I was gonna go have a LinkedIn jersey made for you, and come in here and hang the jersey for you and have it like the whole nine planet. But it's very difficult to make the jokes because you come off as a very humble, proud, and confident man. And I think that everybody looks at you, especially somebody from Ponchatoula, right? Especially somebody like me. I want to see you do well, and I want to see you get all the opportunities to do well. All right. I'm going to say this I'm going to park that and say that, and that's very important. Like you and the way that you carry yourself, how you talk, even the whole TJ Finley thing, third person, that's all cool, right? Like all of that, you come across incredibly well, and you should continue to tell your story and define yourself on your terms. The last thing that I will say is, the last thing I'll ask you is, what if they say no? What if you are not granted this extra year to go and play college football? What if the NCAA decides that TJ Finley's time as a college football player is over? What will you do?
I think I would definitely, have to declare for the NFL, right? And hope for the best. I think my thought process after that would be, how can I get my foot in the door in the CFL or the UFL if the NFL opportunity does not open? If I go, let's say I get one invite to a mini camp, right, and I go and ball out, but I'm just not the fit at that place, so nobody else calls. I think the UFL or the CFL will be my next opportunity for the time being.
Do you think that you would get a combine invite?
To the NFL?
Yeah, if you were to
No.
You don't think you would
not.
if you were to declare? You don't think you would get a combine invite?
No, I don't.
Really?
No. I think am I tripping or? Like,
I don't know, man.
think-
You 6'7", bro.
I don't
You know,
think you
I
might
just-
get
I
a-
don't think-
I-
yeah,
What makes
just
you
on-
think you wouldn't get invited to the
Yeah.
combine?
But because one, I'm not a test guy. Like I'm not gonna test at all. I would just go and showcase my arm. Two, like I think guys have to earn the invite, right? I don't think I've earned. I don't think I've put together a full most recent season to earn a combine invite. I think there's a lot of guys that have, they might not, in my opinion, be as talented as I am, but they have earned the right to be at the NFL Combine. That's just my take on it. Now, and I think that's another reason why I continue to, do things that I do, because I do feel like, given the opportunity to go to the NFL Combine, I think a lot of guys will be like, oh shucks, like, this kid can go. So yeah, I don't think I would get a combine.
Damn, man. Maybe I got it all twisted, bro. You 6'7", 230, 240 with an arm. I kind of feel like that profile gets you an invite, but maybe, but we'll see. Hopefully you get that.
I think the interviews will be great for you, TJ.
I think
really
I agree. I think those are very imperative to how my NFL, journey unfolds.
Well, listen, I'll say this. Continue to tell your story. There are people that are not going to be receptive to it.
Right.
That doesn't seem to bother you. one iota. Your confidence and the fact that you are clear in the way you're articulating what it is that you're saying, I'll be honest with you, that speaks volumes. Man, after I seen you ball out in that game, I can't believe you left us, bro. I can't believe you left us, man. Like, remember, I can't believe you left us, brother, but I wish you nothing but the best in football, in life, whatever it is that you got going on.
Yes, sir.
And I think, honestly, it takes a lot of balls. If you're talking about what people want on their team, a lot of balls to come out and face the music, people that have criticisms about you and have the conversation and tell your story. So all the best to you, man. Whether you get the next year or not, we'll continue to follow your story and give you a place to talk whenever you need one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. TJ, if you want to come back and announce your college here, we'll do a whole commitment ceremony.
Yeah,
we'll do the hats.
Yeah, we got you, bro.
We'll put the hats out. We'll do the deal. We'll do the entire deal, man. And when you get that chance, if they do say yes, man, take advantage of that opportunity. Ball, go crazy.
For sure.
Stay healthy. All the luck in the world to you, bro. Blessings to you and your entire family.
I appreciate it. I think I want a lot of people, because I know this podcast will be out. I want a lot of people to understand this year that I'm fighting for. It's not like a medical a hardship or anything like that. Like, the only reason why this year and I ended up making the decision to get in the portal is because they kind of have to give me this year with me being injured in 2024, and I only played 2 games. Right? It's kind of like the clock rule. You have 5 years to play for.
Yeah.
With 2020 not counting, and I've only played 3 seasons. This kind of would be the 4th season, but that's neither here nor there. The NCAA does have the final decision, but it's based on their rule book. This year is kind of cutthroat.
Don't taunt them, TJ. Okay,
you're right.
We gonna like
hey,
we
somebody know.
Hey,
TJ,
y'all think
like,
Diego Pavia did something? Just watch me if they say
Okay.
no.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
See,
That's
TJ,
it.
that's what you got to do. You got to ignite
Right.
us. Like, if you're going to give Diego Pavia another year, you got to give TJ Finley another year.
Absolutely.
But NCAA, we hoping that y'all give him the year. Give him
man.
a year. We
Give
not
our boy a
talking y'all.
year.
Give him a year. One more year
Give
for
him a
TJ.
year.
That's fine. I'm with it.
That's
man.
right.
I appreciate it.
One more
I
year.
appreciate y'all having me on, man. It was a pleasure. I definitely will be back sometime this year.
No problem,
right.
brother. Stay
Thanks,
up,
TJ.
man. Blessings
You're
to
welcome
you. Stay
anytime,
healthy.
man.
All right, see
Absolutely.
TJ.
There you have it. A very, very fun interview and a very enlightening interview there with TJ Finley. Appreciate him breaking down his journey. That was a lot of fun to get to talk to him. A nice little capper on our Big Van on Campus. Van, how do you feel now that you've talked to TJ about where you stood before?
I mean, I think that personally, listening to him tell his story, I wish him nothing but the best. And for TJ Finley personally, I hope that he gets the opportunity to continue to play football and go and make money for himself and his family. I do think we have a major, major problem in not just college football, but in college sports, the way some of this stuff is shaking out. And I think we have to start looking at it and what the sport is supposed to be about and what it's supposed to mean. And I think that there's an issue that has to be addressed.
I'm not laughing because I agree with you, Van. I'm laughing because Joel
You
was
sound like
trying to
an
make
old
this
racist white
point
man,
during the
dog.
break,
I
but
don't
we had
know.
to change.
You just
Sound like an old racist white man.
Football is just not the same anymore since they've been able to get paid. I don't know. They never had any loyalty.
This had nothing to do with getting paid.
I don't know. It just
This had nothing to do with getting paid.
There are kids going from school to school,
This
jumping
had nothing to
around,
do with
around.
getting paid. It has
Nobody's
nothing to do with it
getting
right now.
familiar with the cultural traditions. They don't know the alma maters of their schools.
They should. I'm a
I
college football traditionalist. I make absolutely no apologies for it.
I mean,
If I wanted to watch the
traditionalist, that's
NFL, I
right.
will watch the NFL.
You're an
So to me-
originalist.
So to me, I am a college football
You and the Duke, man. Y'all are
originalist. I'm a college football originalist. I have no problem with that. I do think that, in all seriousness, obviously you listen to these situations and they should be able to make as much money as possible. I have no problem with that. But for the continuation of the sport, in both football and in basketball, there's going to have to be some structure to it. Or else what you're going to have is 26, 27-year-old athletes coming into sports and chicken hawking 18, 19-year-old athletes who need these opportunities at development. I believe that. My mind won't be changed. Let the audience make their decision.
Yeah. Man, then
Okay.
they'll have to have you all use the same bathroom, and then that'll be crazy.
Use the
And
same
then
bathroom.
Yeah. I'm making fun of your. I'm just making fun of your.
Hey, y'all want to talk before we go? You want to talk about what you called Tate earlier? Before we start the show,
bro. Hold on. Where's my closing point? Do
Before we
I
go,
get to make my
because
closing
Joe
point?
said all
We
of
don't
this
have
stuff.
enough time.
Joe
I got to
is
make my
coming
closing
across.
point.
Tate, just yes or no, and anybody that was listening to the feed can join the
apparently we
Did
have
Tate-
audio.
Everybody, they're lying about this.
Did
They're
Joe
lying
not
about
call
this.
Tate dad earlier?
That's
Yes or no?
not a lot. Everybody's lying.
Tate,
I mean,
That's no.
Tate,
It's
did he say
this is
that?
a lie that they concocted.
Duke.
This is a
real
lie
quick,
that
'cause we
they
gotta go.
concocted.
Tate got a party. But Duke, did Joel not say
They concocted
that-
this lie
that
to try
Tate
to
was
embarrass
dad
me.
earlier? Did he not say that?
Van mad that I called him an originalist.
I
No.
am. I agree.
I think we have audio of it. That's so we can put it out if we need to.
I thought you said daddy. Like, I thought you actually called him daddy.
That's false. I mean, but why does your hat look like the Auburn helmet? What is that? Or is that the
Miami.
Dolphins.
It's
Yeah,
the
Dolphins
Dolphins
helmet.
Yeah.
Miami.
Don't change the subject. You called him dad.
I did not call him dad. Nobody's putting out any audio that says as such.
Hold on, wait. Why? Are you saying we can't, or are you saying we can't produce it? Because if you say we can't, we won't do it. But if you say that we can't produce it,
I'm
then you
saying
have
that
to-
I'm not worried
It can
because
be
I did not
produced.
Hold on,
say it.
wait. No.
No.
Take a stand. Are you saying we
I said
can't
I'm not
produce
worried
audio that you
because I
did?
didn't say
Or you
it.
saying you don't want us to do it? If you don't want us to do it, we
I
won't
answered
do
your
it.
question.
Because we're not going
I
to
answered your-
disrespect co-hosts. But if you say we can't do it, then we will fucking put the audio out, and you clearly said it.
I didn't say it.
Okay.
Oh,
Do we have
tough.
permission to put the audio on this clip of
I
you
thought,
saying?
why aren't you more mad about getting your guests rejected? Because why you
First of all,
why you
first
putting
of all,
more? Why you putting
First of
more?
all, we didn't get rejected because
Oh no, it got
honestly,
rejected.
we kind of got
You
ghosted.
know, it got rejected.
We kind of
Billy
got
rejected
ghosted
you.
by her. She didn't.
You actually-
it's not like she wanted to do it. And then there was some talk about whether or not we'll deal with that. But the question is this.
You got Big Daddy. That's what happened.
The question is this. Seriously. Okay, how
got
about
Ty
this?
Simpson.
How about this? I got Ty Simpson. I got Big Daddy.
You got
Cool.
Big Daddy.
Done. You got that. Plus one for Joe. Did you call Tate Daddy?
I told you. I did not say that.
Okay. Do we have permission to put the audio on this clip of what sounds like you calling Tate Dad?
I did not call him Daddy.
Joel's
Yes or
going to
no?
claim AI.
Yes or no,
I said
Joe?
no. I did not call him Daddy.
But Joe, yes or no? Do we have permission to play what sounds like you calling him Dad? Just yes or no?
I don't even. What do I have to do with this? What do you mean? Do I have
All right,
permission?
cool.
Well, you said
Duke,
it.
Yeah.
we do.
I mean,
mean,
if
I
you
don't
didn't-
believe-
if you didn't do it, you
Then
just say
say-
yes to exonerate yourself, right?
Tate,
Like,
don't
if
you have a
didn't
problem?
do it.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what y'all, man. You know they can do all that kind of stuff with AI and
There we
everything.
go.
Oh, see? I knew
Immediately.
it. Cool. Yeah.
All right, so we'll put that out. We'll let the audience decide about whether or not Joe called Tate Dad.
I did not call him
And
Daddy.
then
We're not on
and then
video.
We'll
Yeah.
let you guys decide. We'll be back. When's the pod coming back, Tate?
Next week, next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, we are back. No show
Mm-hmm.
this Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we are back to get you guys ready for more playoff action. I will say this. This show itself has been a gigantic gift for me this year. I've had so much fun with you guys. I'm having so
Same
much
here.
fun doing the show. I hope all the listeners and everybody has a great Christmas. Shout out to Tate, Mr. Christmas Frazier, Joel, the name pronunciation, Anderson, and Billy the Duke, Gill. This has been a great gift for me doing this, and I'm so happy we're doing it throughout the playoffs. So Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Have fun with your families in the next couple of days.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, nice note to end on there. Ringer Tailgate. Appreciate everybody tuning into the show, and we will see you all next week. And Billy just reminded us that Joel said we were getting canceled 2 shows ago. So,
Once again, I've been
look at
misquoted.
us.
Once again, I've been misquoted. But yeah,
Another Joel quote that we'll drum up for sure. Joel, do you have a parting shot? It seems like you
no,
wanna say
man.
something.
You know, yeah. I mean, I'm really grateful. This has been a really fun year. You know, sometimes it appears that it's not work, but it is. And so, but it's been so fun. It doesn't felt like that. You know, so I'm glad that
Right.
we could all do this together. We can all fellowship. We saw our man Tate get engaged the other day.
Absolutely.
We're going to
No.
get Van a Christmas tree.
Trying.
Billy. when I come down to Miami, you know, we're gonna have some fun. Hopefully you all will be able to come. So I'm just really looking forward to that in the new year, man. You know, doing even more. Getting even bigger. Having more swell times with the guys.
Yeah.
We had such a nice note, then Joel takes one more shot on the way out. As expected. Appreciate everybody tuning in to Ringer Tailgate, and we will see you all next week for round 2 of the CFP. Must be 21 or older and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rghelp.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 27 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.